guys. Welcome back to the Honey Pop. My name is Brittany. I'm one of the co-owners, and today we are sitting down with Julie and JD from Fangirl Fantasy. They are an event company that put on themed nights. So if you've ever been to a High School Musical night, a One Direction night, Taylor Swift night, they're probably one of the ones who have put it on, and we're just so honored that we got to sit down and speak with them today about the company, kind of where they've been, what they've done, and also kind of what they have planned for the future. So but yeah, without further ado, let's get into the interview. Guys, welcome to the Honey Pop. My name is Brittany. And so for our first question, we really like to kind of give you guys the floor and do like kind of a brief intro about yourself.
Go ahead.
I am Julie Russell. I am originally from Boston. I live in Los Angeles, and I am the founder and CEO of Fangirl Fantasy, which is themed dance pop culture nights that create a safe space for fangirls to go hang out with their friends, listen to their favorite music. I also am a day-to-day manager for influencers in the content and TikTok space.
Yeah, my name is JD. I am originally from the Bay Area, and I've been doing radio and entertainment since I was 18, and I'm the DJ for Fangirl Fantasy, and as well as a DJ for brands and DJ for clubs and the whole shabam. And I'm currently looking for employment and would appreciate health insurance at any location.
He's kidding.
No, I love that. I think that's really cool. So you guys both work with, you're the CEO of Fangirl Fantasy, and so you both work in that space. What would you say has been the most important thing that you've learned from creating a company and being involved with this kind of like from the ground up?
What's it been like?
Yeah, what is like the most important thing that you've learned?
Oh goodness.
Good question.
I think personally, just think if I wouldn't do that one, I don't think they'd do it to me. So I think a lot about it is business and personal relationships and separating those, and making sure that you're just doing good business and that people want to work with you. We always like go into the mindset of like, we want to be the easiest people for someone to work with, like never being like, oh dang, they were like bitchy or or had an attitude, like we don't want them to come back kind of situation. So I think for us, like we know who we want to work with as people, so we want to make sure like that's also us. So I think for me, just the most challenging is like working with different people in business aspects and learning how to do business with so many different people. But I think a lot of the challenging things is you have no, like, I am the person that's to make the decisions at the end of the day, good, bad. You don't have a supervisor or a boss making them for you, so it's just like to make the decision and kind of stick with it kind of situation.
Yeah, no, I mean, even just to add on that, similar to what she said, being a pleasure to work with, I think is super important, and having those in building any kind of relationships in any line of work. So I think not only being a pleasure to work with for those people, but also catering an experience for the people that come where they're spending their money. And I think you have to respect that, especially in a climate in today's age. And then with all the options of places and things that they could do, is just giving them their money's worth. So I think that's super important to us to come from a authentic point of view in all aspects, from the people that walk in the door to the people that we're working with, because every place is so different and it's all different parts of the country. So balancing that, it's all, could do the same stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much, she put it well put.
No, I think that's super important, and I think it's really important that you guys have learned that, and I love that you have. You mentioned that, so you recently released that you, for 2023, you're going kind of across the country now. What would you say, because that's a huge growth for your company, is being able to kind of go into these different markets. How exciting is it? And then are you trying to always grow exponentially in that way? And are you ever going to come to Texas? Because I'm in Texas right now and you guys are not coming there. And I was really like slightly offended. I was like, oh my gosh.
I went to Austin and Fort Worth.
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Okay, so we're gonna have to put that on the mark then.
Yeah, well, I'll just speak for myself professionally as a DJ. I mean, it was always a dream of mine to go on tour, and being in the radio space, one, I never knew if I would have the amount of time to do it. And number two, usually you're with an artist that you believe in. You know, a lot of the times you have to be with these people from the ground up, and it takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of hard work, and it takes you have to believe in that person or group or whatever the situation is. You have to be a believer in the product, which is, you know, your artist. So I never thought I'd have the opportunity to one, travel around places, but also be in venues where people are in them. Because sometimes if you're with a struggling artist or a struggling tour or whatever, you know, you never know because each city is so different and you never know how each market's going to react. So for me, as a personally, it's been a dream come true to be able to travel to all these places and being able to play for people. Like that is something that I don't take for granted, and that helps me be better at my job because I know there's more on the line to do a good job.
I think for me, I mean, when I started this over 3 years ago, we were just doing it in Boston because that's, you know, our base. So like the fact that we're growing and traveling out of the country now, like we went to Canada, we're going to Canada again. And I don't know, it's just weird sometimes to even think about it that I'm in LA hopping on a flight, he's in Boston hopping on a flight. I'm like, all right, meet you there. And then now we've expanded the team with about like 6 7 other DJs now, and we'll be doing like multiple events in one night where me and him will be somewhere, and another DJ and like another, you know, worker will be somewhere else. So we're definitely going to be kind of hitting multiple places. And I think we are going to grow the team, but I think that anyone you're just very picky with who you this event space, and so I just want to make sure the people that are with us are in it for the right reasons. They understand like what we're looking for, what the environment that we want. So yeah, no, I think traveling is always so weird to me. It doesn't seem like normal that this is what we get to do. So, but it's been awesome.
No, it's really cool. I think because I've been kind of following you guys since close to the beginning, I think, because it started when some of these companies started popping off, and I was like, oh, I want to know more about like not just like what's happening in Houston. I want to know more about what's happening across the US. Like what other companies are doing this? This is really cool. And so I've been kind of following your journey since then, and I think it's really amazing that you guys are growing at like this rapid pace because it has been only 3 years, and COVID also kind of hindered a lot. And so I think it's really amazing that you guys are able to kind of grow at a steady pace, and you're bringing on other DJs so you can play more shows and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's really cool. But so one of the things that I did learn about you guys is that you partnered with the Boston Red Sox. And so that was one of the, I guess, the biggest partnerships that you guys have had. How did that come about? And what did you learn from that experience being able to partner with them?
So the Red Sox actually reached out to us, which is even crazier, to bring the partnership on. I think Travis, who we worked with, kind of just saw an environment where they needed our audience to, you know, come and bring, you know, a different vibe to Fenway, you know, college scene. And just kind of was like, this would be a great idea to be able to, you know, get people in the seats for the Red Sox, and then also, you know, host like a little after party. I think for me, like that learning experience was you can't control the weather because the weather was absolutely horrible all day leading up to it. We had like a rain delay, so that was like super stressful. But then also playing with like, no pun intended, but playing in like the big leagues, the major leagues is like, this is like all eyes were kind of on us. Like nobody else in the city can say that they like DJ Fenway Park in this aspect did. And then also, you know, these copycat, I will say, event companies that are doing it, anything like that. Like, so I think just it kind of just like elevated us a little bit in a different way, professionally, and just that what we're doing is like we're taking it seriously, and we're also trying to just make experiences and have fun, and just what's separating us from these other companies as well. But I mean, seeing the Fangirl Fantasy logo over like the billboard at Fenway Park was like absolutely insane. And then one of our friends was actually walking by Fenway the night that we had it and like recorded and could hear hear JD on the microphone and like sent us a video, which was like, I still have it saved on my phone because I just think that is the wildest thing that also.
It's surreal. I mean, you're Fenway. If you've never been to Fenway, you don't even need to like baseball to feel the aura of Fenway. And plus, you have a local businesswoman who's from here, where there's a local attachment, a local portion attached to it. Where so like you can have some pride that someone locally is like doing some major stuff. And credit to the Red Sox for reaching out. And like she had mentioned, it's all, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to separate ourselves by giving people the best experiences. So a bunch of people could be in these venues and do, you know, similar themed night shows and all that stuff. But we're trying to create that experience in so many different environments and elements because I think people are thirsty for experiences. So they can see that show at a venue, but why not go to Fenway Park and being able to get a 2-for-1 of like going to a sporting event and then being able to like party, like they feel like it's an after party, a club just for them. And I think that's important in the customer service aspect of it, to have someone feel like, oh, okay, like I'm listening to Taylor Swift in Fenway Park. That's pretty tight. It doesn't get much better than that, than being able to provide a separate experience of that magnitude.
No, it's really cool. And I think because you guys are kind of the first of this type of company, and you guys have that kind of huge partnership, and it is a local thing for you. It's something that you grew up, you were there in Boston, Fenway Park, like it's like that's amazing. Like that would be like me if I like performed at like Minute Maid Park or something like in Houston. I'd be like, oh my gosh, what? Why? Like what's going on? Like why would I ever be there?
Why is it great? Is a great way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to be able. I've had to tell her to pinch herself a couple of times because it's like we're going so fast. I mean, we did 70 plus shows this year, so I'm like, yo, like we did Fenway Park, like you know that's iconic. And I think in life you have to celebrate those wins. And I thought it was such a monumental step in the right direction of really trying to create something special for people. So yeah, it's important to like enjoy the moment.
Oh, definitely. I think just being able to sit there and be like, guys, look at what we've created. Look at what we're doing. I think that's just so important for you guys to even grow like later, because you're going to be so thankful for some of the experiences that you've had, that you're able to kind of sit back and be like, oh my God, we did it. We did this. But now let's go farther. Like, what else can we do now? Like Fenway Park, that's going to be in the past. We're going to go bigger now. So but I think it's super important for you guys to be able to like look back and like pat yourself on the back. Like, I think it's incredible what you guys are doing. That's why when I got reached out to about interviewing y'all, I was like, hell yeah, I want to interview you guys. Like, you guys are doing something for fangirls that not a lot of people would have done prior to when you guys started, because we didn't really have those kind of spaces. Like the Honey Pop we're all fangirls. Like it's for fans by fans. So being able to like talk to you guys and learn about your company and learn about what you guys are doing is just really cool, because I see it from the bird's eye view and being like, wow, like how are they doing that? Like it's so cool. Now come to me.
We're
coming. Yeah, I think you nailed it, and I think it's important that we provide just a fun, authentic space to create an amazing time for people like yourself. And it's with me, like, and you know it when you come to an event. You know that it's run by a fan. It was created by a fan. So I hope that well of everything that we do is for the person that's walking through the door. And like that's super important to us, to be able that it's really all about the people that are coming. You know what I mean? It's not about us. We're just giving you the space.
Yeah, I think it shows, because just being kind of from the outside, I think it does show that you guys are doing it not for clout, if that's what it is, but
Money,
it's like huh?
money. You mean that we're not just doing it for money?
Like a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, you're not doing it for the money, you're not doing it for the clout or whatever it is. You're doing it because you care, and you care about that space, and you care about giving fans an actual experience that they want. So you're doing the themed nights, the High School Musical, which I love because I grew up Disney. So I'm like, heck yeah, bring it on.
The Harry Styles candle behind you, the Jonas Brothers T-shirt, the Taylor Swift. I don't know what that. I can't see what the Taylor thing is, but I'm like, oh, there's the old Jonas Brothers logo.
Yeah, so there's the
Right
Jonas
behind.
Brothers, there's Hilary Duff, Santa Claus Lane vinyl, Harry Styles candle. I'm wearing a Big Time Rush shirt. Yeah, so this is literally, your company is like, this is my life. With your events growing more and more, and you're doing more and more shows, you're going to new markets, what do you foresee your events looking like in a couple of years? And what do you hope that the company grows into?
Okay, if we're gonna say a couple years. I think the next step is partnering with some of these artists, or entertainers in the space a little bit more, as well as we're working on a partnership with some fans, to bring in some different fan accounts and like kind of give them like an ambassador program, if you will. So working on that in the next few years. It's really hard to like even think like I can't really, I don't really think that far just because I'm always thinking about like what we're doing next week. Like even like Fenway Park, that was not something that was on my radar for last year. And you know, we renewed it for this year, so we will be back at Fenway Park again. The boat cruise that we did was probably one of my favorite nights, and that one happened like we only planned it a month and a half in advance. So it's like, yeah, like I do have ideas of what I would love to happen, but sometimes it's like things are popping up so quick. And I think pop culture and in the space is that things are changing. Like, yeah, there's the nostalgia, this and that, but it's also, did we think Harry Styles was going to be as big as he was this year? Did you think he was going to do MSG as many times in like the forum? No, I don't think anybody thought that was what's going to happen. So I think even like Taylor going on tour, I think there's just like a lot that I have to think about in that spot. Is like I have to like block off the whole summer and like check our markets, and we can't be at an event in a city where when Taylor's there. It's like things like that that like I have to think long term as well as like even just scheduling dates and stuff like we kind of have to like make sure that we're following the tours and the trends of what's going on. So I don't know. I'm excited. There are things in the back that I don't really want to say everything that I'm hoping that we're gonna do, but a lot of the big things that we've done like only were planned out a few months ahead because like I said, things are moving quickly and you know things pop up and stuff like that. But I'm excited, and we're just I think we're starting going into year 4 for Fangirl, and it's like we're still moving and grooving. I'm just learning more. I think this is our first full year. So of like calendar year of like actually being on the road and this and that. So it was a big learning year of like what to do, what not to do, what markets work, what themes worked. So I think this is definitely like a tester year anyways.
Yeah, no, she said it.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Like it's always good to kind of look in the future, but it is nice that you're so focused on the year and you're so focused on learning. And I think that's going to be really important for like the longevity of the company is you're thinking about what's happening right now, what's working, and then you're able to learn from that and then go into the next year and be like, hey, we're going to do bigger and better. And also we already made all the mistakes and it's not going to happen this year. So I think it's really good. A fun little question is if you could partner with anyone or any company, who or what company would that be? Like kind of like one of those like with some singers, it's like, who would you love to do a duet with? So like who would you love to like partner with?
Nick Jonas. So if he's watching this, um,
Please just let's do it.
in regards to like, I guess like that's like he's the reason that Fangirl Fantasy is even of existence. But I think look at the smile he has on his face.
It's so real.
So like in regards to like if there's like a future partnership or like whatever, but I think like company, I feel like there could be like companies and partnerships like sponsor wise that I think we could like really do some cool things with. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that
Yeah, I
hard.
mean, I haven't really thought about that either. We definitely wouldn't. We're trying to make sure us and Ticketmaster always have a good relationship, so
Yeah.
our fans get
Tickets.
tickets to our event. Yeah, I think that's a good question. A lot of the things have been almost not spur of the moment, but they've been so organic, and I think that's what, in my opinion, that comes out of just respect for the company and the respect that we've hopefully earned with people and the trust that we've earned with people, where people see that we're coming from a good place. The events are run by people who know the space and want to introduce it, in their own way. Like, who would have ever thought a baseball team would have wanted a Taylor Swift event? So I think a lot of the times we're just super open to having those organic relationships happen, and they are so mutually beneficial to both sides that I don't think there's anyone outside of the cream of the crop artists that we would love to work with to solidify what we're doing. um, yeah, I think we're just trying to make sure that everything that we do makes sense, and is for people, and it makes sense in that realm.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's Nick Jonas as well.
Yeah, Nick
Yeah,
Jonas. We're gonna get Nick Jonas for Fangirl Fantasy. Like that would be the iconic duo right there.
Or like he can just send us tequila and we'll promote it at the events. Like whatever he wants, we'll do for him.
We just need
Right.
something in your IG story, Mike. Just give us just something tangible.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if I was ever at the event and like he just popped out on stage, do you know how like feral the entire crowd would be?
Or
Like,
just me.
Or just, yeah.
well, I'll be screaming in the back, like, oh my God. And everyone's like, what? I'm like, that's
Well,
Nick Jonas.
I think we're also waiting to see. I know they know I know these artists know that these nights exist. So I think they have to be careful attaching themselves to one of them. Like, I would love if you know um, anyone from One Direction came up on stage to solidify our events. I think they are seeing what's going on in the space to see who rises up and then who's. That's what I'm saying. We're trying to do things to separate ourselves to legitimize the overall love and joy of what we're presenting to people. And I think the more we continue to work with people like the Red Sox, and all those opportunities will hopefully spring into something great. And I believe that's going to happen. And then that way, when it happens, we're just to the moon, and people know we're a one-stop shop for it.
Definitely. I think that's really important. And I think it's really great that you guys are thinking about that now as so early, because I know a lot of companies, they try to just hit the ground running and go really, really fast. And then they lose sight of what they're actually doing and why they even started the company in the first place. So the fact that you guys are thinking about that now and you're so trying to be true to like why you started the company, I think that's just going to help you guys out long term and stay in the space and be one of the top companies to be like, this is what we do and this is why we do it. And being able to keep that like ethos about your company is just going to be absolute like the most important thing for you guys in the future. So I think it's really great. But we're coming to the end of the interview because I don't want to keep you all too long. So we, at the end of our interviews, we really like to kind of, I'm going to have all of your links down below, all of like your website and everywhere to where people can go and find your events. But I kind of like to give you guys the floor again to be like, this is what we really want you to guys check out. This is kind of just telling the Honey Pop viewers like who you are and like all that kind of stuff.
We will be resuming all of our events in 2023. We have our first events the first week of January, and I think we have about 15 in the month of January, and we'll be kind of all over. We have new merch that is out now that we just launched, some new Taylor themes. We have some awesome Harry themed merch, and yeah, the first month of January we're hitting the ground running with two brand new DJs that will be hitting their first events that haven't done it yet, which is really exciting. We're hitting Canada again, Montreal and Toronto, and yeah, we're excited, and I think it's going to be a good start of the year.
100%. And I'll just finish with, we hella appreciate the support, because it's just, we're not able to do what we do without people showing up to the events and hopefully just having a great time. I say it at the end of shows that, there are companies that do what we do, but hopefully when you come to one of our events, you feel like that person, this company, they're fans of whatever the theme of the night is. And when they walk in the door, they get that experience and they can walk out saying, oh, they played this song. That must mean that they're a fan. They get it. And I think that's super important for us, because we're not trying to fool anybody. It's just like, okay, if you love these artists, you want to have a great time with you and your friends, you know what to expect, and you can come in knowing that you're going to get what you paid for, and that means a lot to us. And we try to create that space where fans can be fans, exactly what you just said. So we appreciate everyone that comes to all these cities. It's mind-boggling, but yeah, we're super thankful for it.
I just wanted to thank you for sitting down, because like you guys don't have to do this kind of stuff. Like I say this to everyone I interview, because it's like you don't have to talk to me. Like I'm just a person.
You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk to us. You don't have to think our story is interesting enough to listen to it.
You are our company, so
Yeah.
like we'd be stupid to not talk to any and everybody. There's no key here.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, your company is kind of me. Every time like I see it pop up, I'm like, that's so me. Like the Taylor Swift nights, the Jonas Brothers night, One Direction, like all those kind of like High School Musical, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, literally, that's me.
Before you go, can we flip it on you and ask you what you feel like we should be doing? If there's something that we're missing.
Let's see.
You can hurt our feelings too.
Yeah, we're okay with it. We're open. We've heard
No, I really do think your company is really great. I'm trying to think. I think, and I mean in the future, because it's like I don't really know what is possible in this space. So I think in the future you've kind of already mentioned it. I think it would be really cool to get some of the actors or singers or people involved that's from that kind of time. I think it'd be really, really cool for you guys to kind of venture into that. I don't really know what it looks like. I don't really know how what is possible. But I think it would be really cool for that. And I think as you guys grow, I think you're going to be able to get into bigger and bigger venues, and getting into more and more markets. I think that's just going to take time as well for the company itself. But I think you guys are doing pretty great. So
you want an instant request when we come to Houston? What kind of night do you want? And then what song do you want?
oh my God. Okay.
No
Now,
pressure.
oh my God, that's such a hard question. I really want a boy band night. Like but also like Jonas Brothers is not a boy band. It's not a boy band. Don't even start.
Are you gonna say that Five Sauce is a boy band then?
No. But I want you to play them. like they're not boy bands, but I want you to still play them because that's the music I like. But I would really,
If you're a group of guys in a band, we'll play you.
yes, thank
Okay.
you. But I think it would also be really cool in the future if you guys did like a boy band through the years. So going back to like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and then doing like boy bands of today, and doing kind of like a mix of I think that would be really, really cool if you guys just in the future, like just an idea.
On the table, girl. Everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's really cool.
Thank you. We'll
Yeah.
mental note on the different ideas. Always we always listen because you never know what can or can't work.
So that was our interview with Julie and JD from Fangirl Fantasy. As you can tell, they're really a lovely bunch, and we are so honored that we got to speak with them. They have announced the 2023 dates on all of their social media platforms. You can go to their website, which is going to be linked down below, to see if they're coming to a city near you. But we're so honored that we got to sit and chat with them today and learn about more about their company and how they started and kind of what their ethos for the company is. But yeah, so we're just super honored, and we definitely want you to go and follow all of their social media. It's going to be linked down below. And then our social media is also going to be linked down below. We do have a Discord server where we would love for you to join us and come chat with us about all things pop culture. We are fangirls, as you guys know. We're for fans by fans, and we talk about everything in the pop culture realm. So pretty heavy K-pop. We have a pretty heavy K-pop group. We've got gaming and TV and film and music, and like we talk about Taylor Swift and Harry Styles all the time, and Louis Tomlinson, and we would just love for you guys to come and join us and make some friends while you're at it and join some of our events. So that link will be down below, and I hope to see you there. And thank you so much for sticking around and watching this interview, and we hope to see you in our next one.